Why do you bury lawyers 10 feet down instead of 6? Because deep down, they really are good people. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. Today, we're going to talk about the best 5v5 defensive teams in all the land. This meta is going to be an interesting one. Lots of Galactic Legends on defense, if you have them. If you don't, then I guess you can't do it. So, have fun with that. At the exact same time as I'm publishing this video, I'm publishing the 5v5 best offensive teams video as well. It's going to be linked in the video description, or if you wait to the end of this video, you can click on the link to it and watch it. So go check those out if you're interested. If you want to support this channel for free, thank you. Like, subscribe, comment, and thank you to my patrons. You guys are awesome. I did that out of order. That was weird. Let's get to it, folks. It's time to talk about this nonsense. So what are we doing this season? This season is there's just not too many like slam dunk ridiculously strong teams for defense, and it's an interesting one though too, because you can really choose your own difficulty, because there's a few datacrons that are really helpful on offense, also really helpful on defense. Like the Rolocron can really do some crazy stuff for you and a few of the teams. You can also use the Krennic Cron on defense, or keep it for offense and do some really weird stuff with it. There's a lot of weird mix and matching teams, because Inquisition teams in 5s are just really strange, because the datacrons can let them do a lot of stuff. They have a lot of useful tags, so a lot of good stuff going on, and there's nothing out there that just specifically kills that many Galactic Legends. A few, like Wampa, will typically take down like a Leia team or something. So and I think if you don't put a high potency Jabba team down, you're gonna lose to Wampa sometimes. I think this season, I think the Wampacron is just pretty strong, and so put high potency on this team and watch your opponents get sad, and do the sad walk away scene with like piano music and stuff. It'll be great. And anyways, Jabba is no longer just auto killed by several things, so you can put it on defense again, guys. He's back in town. Lord Vader, we still have some of these clone crons. If your opponent knows what they're doing, they'll probably just end up killing you with Bo-Katan, but make them take that chance. Make them take the risk, and make them potentially use the Rolocron there. Even though they don't need it, if they use the Rolocron, they will kill this team with Bo-Katan, I think. But if, make them make that decision. That way, maybe you won't see the Rolocron on their defense, right? So, otherwise, we have Supreme Leader Kylo with Pointy Teeth Rey. Once again, you probably don't have to put Kylo Ren unmasked here. You can put it with an UFU team, like with Taron Malicos or whatever. You just put this First Order Stormtrooper. Whatever you want to do, guys. I don't care. This team is obnoxious. That people just use a Kenobi team to knock it out. If they don't, they'll use Bane. If they don't, they might be out of luck. You could maybe use like Rey to beat it or something. It's not a whole lot that beats this team, but it is tremendously easier to beat this team with the teams we have available. So than in 3s. So hopefully this is the last season, guys, last season that we have to deal with that Pointy Teeth Raycron. Of course, next season we'll have other focus datacrons that are obnoxious, but that's beside the point. So Rey, I gave a lot of thought to this, and huge shout out to Tom Ford, by the way, who I consult with on a lot of these teams. But what ended up being the solution, because the best version of Rey is always going to have Ezra on it, but Ezra on a Rey team means you have a shell of an Ahsoka team, which, I mean, the Ahsoka team is still not going to be amazing, but the thing is, there is protection from the Great Mother's team with Ahsoka. You can put the Ahsoka team down and put the turn meter preload Cron on them, and the only team that can then beat them that's not a Galactic Legend, like Leia will still beat it, etc., but some people will know how to use the Zori team to beat you. If they don't know how to use Zori, Great Mothers won't beat it, guys. Great Mothers aren't going to beat it when they have the 25% turn meter level 3. So you could put Ezra on the Ahsoka team, and that's pretty neat. And then you could put this is pretty awkward, but you could put Mon Mothma with Rey. And I'm gonna, this is so annoying. I almost didn't show this just because I don't want to have to face this. Some people copy these defenses and faithfully, but here's the thing, guys. There's the Bariss Kron right now, and the Bariss Kron says that if you kill her before you kill any of the other characters, then everyone revives, right? So how are you going to kill Bariss before you, or how are you going to kill Mon Mothma before you kill Bariss? You can't. You have to target Bariss first. And so you put Mon Mothma here, and you have to kill Bariss first, and then that triggers all of the awesome offense and stuff that she grants to everyone else for the rest of the fight. And it just superpowers Rey, superpowers Ben, and it just makes them all way better. And that's obnoxious. Or, yeah, I mean, I guess you could maybe use like a Seer Malicos team or something to take this out. I don't know. I just I feel like this is the best of both worlds. The Bariss Kron is just pretty annoying with Mon Mothma. So, in my opinion, that's going to be the best combination of teams. We'll see. We'll end up seeing, like, if we're getting 0 holds with it, I'll probably end up just throwing Ezra on the team and kicking Mon Mothma's hindquarters to the curb, because she deserves that. She thinks she's better than Rebel fighters. She can't even have the Rebel fighter tag on her. She thinks she's better than those peasants. She can go on Galactic Legend teams while her friends just have to sit on the bench or hang out with that rogue Saw Gerrera. Terrible. Just such a pity. Okay, so like I talked about in the offense teams video, folks, it gets weird with Inquisition this season. So typically I would say Baylan's best version of the team is going to have Hondo and Kira as the second or as the 4th and 5th. But this season, if you want to keep Inquisition on offense, because if you put Inquisition on defense, usually once they fix the bug, which it's scheduled to be fixed, so it'll be very soon, if not before the entire GAC season. Once that's fixed, the Inquisition team will just lose every time, basically, to Phoenix with Captain Rex. And so if that happens, you don't want to put Inquisition on defense, but you can put Baylan on defense, and they won't lose. He won't lose to Phoenix. So instead, you put Ninth Sister, who granted is the stronger of is the strongest Inquisition Kron. You put the Ninth Sister with her Kron, not the Merrick Kron, and you could put 8th Brother there because he's kicked off of the Inquisition team, and then the Inquisition team has Second Sister instead, and her Datacron. So this will be an interesting season to see. Like the Baylan team, it's all just going to be mostly Inquisition. And I think with a good Ninth Sister Kron, this is going to be a fairly obnoxious team to beat. Let's see, Sith Eternal Emperor. So if you want to keep Malak for offense to go with Bane, you totally can. Feel free. Just, remember that Malak is substantially, it's a good reason why this team would get holds. Keep in mind this team does lose to Bane immediately, but so does everything. So say the Eternal Emperor, like this team isn't going to lose to Wampa, I don't think. I hope not, dear Lord. But one way or another, yeah, this team is, I just don't see much use for Sith Eternal Emperor, guys. Like, sure, he'll kill like a Traya team or Malgus team or like a few different, but for the most part, the teams that are really worth killing, he's either going to drop a ton of banners on offense, or he's just going to fail and die. Just rather put him on defense with some guys and stress my opponents out. I got a ton of holds with this last season, actually. So, looking forward to that. If you have Jedi Master Mace, which a lot of you will, I think this season, at some point in September at least, I think that you're going to be able to unlock him. He's such a good team, guys, that you just put him on defense, and then you lose to, like, Jedi Master Luke or something. I don't know. It's that, or like Gungans, probably. We'll see how this team does, but there's no plans for it on offense yet. Maybe eventually we'll find it. At this point, he's just a very, very expensive unlock character and a raid character. So yay for that. Good choices. Everyone's happy with those choices they made, right? Just put it on defense, and then you don't have to worry about it. General Skywalker, just put it on defense sometimes. I mean, we're gonna be. There's going to be a lot of teams that you're like, well, we need a little bit of filler, and General Skywalker is pretty good at that. He'll steal banners, stress your opponent out, or cost him Sith Eternal Emperor, something like that, or CLS. But if they use CLS, then they'll drop a bunch of banners. He's not going to be that useful in taking out Queen Amidala teams if they have the Krennic Cron, so I wouldn't expect Skywalker to be that useful on offense this season. So on defense or just the bench makes the most sense. The Traya squad, you could put Traya with, say, the Eternal Emperor if you wanted to, or just put it flat on defense. Of course, say, the Eternal Emperor will beat it. There's not a ton of teams that easily beat this squad. Even now, we keep seeing great teams show up, and like Traya just doesn't care that much. Like, if you're Galactic Legend, then she's scared, and otherwise she's got some give. Like, she's got some life to her. So put it on defense, see what happens, guys. This is all predicated on just stocking your defense with a ton of ridiculous high-grade BS. Like, you don't want your opponent to have easy outs, so then, sure, they can easily beat 7 of your teams, but can they beat the last 4? The last 4 would Treya's probably one of them if you're following this list, and Treya's not easy to beat. We've got, so this is the one that I marked as, well, I marked it as hard mode on my offense video, but apparently I didn't on this one. Look, if you want an easy time on offense, you can keep Seer Malicos, Starkiller, and then Scav Rey, and split them up however you want, destroy your opponents with those guys. I don't blame you for it, and a lot of people don't have all the Galactic Legends, so this is a good team to kind of help your offense out. But if you want to do hard mode on defense, this is probably the team to use. Probably just actually take the Fulcrum out and put Crew in instead. So you have a pre-taunt, and watch Scav Rey. Use the Scav Rey Cron and just watch her one-shot things. Watch Malicos and Starkiller get all butthurt over how many kills she's getting. Like, it's going to be obnoxious. She's so good. It's going to be a really good team on defense. But also going to be really good on offense, and that's why it's hard mode. That's why this is the squad that kind of depends on how you want your GACs. Do you want to just have a pretty smooth offensive season? This team is pretty good, and it can be split onto a few different teams. You don't have to worry about yes, it's off meta, but it's like the easy off meta, right? Like, it's cush, it's nice and simple. It's pretty good. So do what you want. This team can be ridiculous in a back zone, though. Like, no one wants to deal with this in the back zone. Like, can Scav Rey one-shot Bane? I would love to see her try for one. I modded her for speed, actually, just because I want to see her get lots of turns really fast. Okay, so you only want to put the Queen Amidala team down on, well, you can put it on defense regardless, I guess. If you have, you could put the Rolo Cron with them so they just take a million turns. You could put the Krennic Cron with them so that they just delete things really hard. There's a lot of things that this team can do on defense and on offense. This is another one of those hard mode things. I think if you have the Krennic Cron, typically I'm going to just say, keep the Queen Amidala team for offense and kill whatever Rey BS they have going on there, or even just take out like Jabba or something. Like, this team is going to be pretty good on offense. But if you want another hard mode option, this is another one that you can place on defense. Honestly, if you have Relic Pirates, they're not bad. I don't see this team getting a ton of holds, but I will be putting it down on defense. It's your choice. if you're not, if they're not relic, then I guess don't do it. The Saw just keeps being good, even though we don't have the Saw-cron just deleting things now. It's still really strong. The Omicron, actually, I'll be putting out an Omicron ranking videos later this week, and huge spoiler: the Saw Omicron is being promoted by one space because it just keeps being the gift the gate keeps giving. You can put the Rolocron on this squad, and it's pretty annoying. You could actually even put, I mean, it wouldn't be as effective, but it'd still be decent. You could put the Krennic-cron on it as well. This team still has legs. I think the biggest question mark is, do you want to keep Captain Rex? You want to put him on this team? Because this is probably one of the best teams for him. Or keep him for offense so that you can kill, like you can keep those Inquisition teams honest. Because Phoenix will just take out Inquisition pretty easily if you have Captain Rex. Of course, you have to replace Kanan with a Pretaunt, but that's for a different video, I suppose. Otherwise, this team's pretty good on defense. We have the Qui-Gon team. Well, and by the way, Saw, because he doesn't have as good Datacron, it's now feasible to put Queen Amidala back on defense, because Saw otherwise was just deleting that team automatically with that Datacron. Anyways, so you can put the Qui-Gon to, I almost got mutinied, guys, when I said that we needed to sunset these 5 Omicrons. Everyone hated me so much for saying Qui-Gon Cron was out of date. I still kind of think it is, but it still got use. If you need to fill a team, you're not going to use it for offense too often. Like, sure, it packs a punch. It can be okay. It can save you. It shouldn't be the primary counter that you're planning for like any team, though. Like, it can be like I actually could really use a hard-hitting team. Like, sure, feel free. I'm just you know, it's not like the very best team anymore. You can put it on defense though. Great Mothers, look, they're gonna be diminished this season for me, because I usually use them to take out Ahsoka teams. We're not gonna be able to do that as much this season because Ahsoka is going to have that turn meter boost level 3, which means you outspeed Great Mothers, which means Great Mothers don't get the jump on Ahsoka and they die. However, they're still going to have a ton. They're going to pack a punch with all of their defense. Well, their defense is going to turn into offense, and they're just going to delete things. So I think on defense, it actually makes a decent amount of sense to put them on defense. They'll still take out a lot on offense. It should be fun. And then if you're really just running dry on teams, you want to play this on defense, you can put the Mandalorians down. Feel free, guys. You can put Trench down. You can put Ewoks down. I don't care, but the Maul team does actually present a problem for a lot of rosters. If this is your 11th best team, like your worst team on defense, it's actually a fairly good defense. So do what you want, as always, but you know, we have the ISC Datacron right now, and it's bugged. The ISC is kind of bugged, so you might time your opponents out because it's so erratic and weird, their movement. But I wouldn't. This is like, I'd rather put Qui-Gon on defense, frankly, guys. Anyways, all these teams should do you pretty well on defense, I think. Just tons of Galactic Legends, guys. You know I like to do the big game hunting stuff, and this is no exception. Come watch me live sometime and watch me do all the off-meta stuff. There's a few weird comps that I want to try that aren't on any of these lists, because I wouldn't recommend them to even myself, much less you, my dear viewer. So I'm going to let you go. I hope this was helpful. Go watch my offensive teams video. I'm sure it's going to be illuminating and elucidating. All kind of awesome. All kinds of dating. Not to be suggestive, but I'm going to let you go. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Take care, folks.